Hello, everyone. My name is Pamela McDonald, and I'm the Director of Communications and Education at the BC Securities Commission. And joining me today is Dan Levitt. Hello, Dan.
Hi, great to be here. I'm BC Seniors Advocate from the Office of the Seniors Advocate. We monitor issues and services in BC and make recommendations to government to address systemic issues in 5 key areas, including healthcare, housing, income supports, community supports, and transportation.
And so we're here today to talk about elder financial abuse. And to be specific about what that is, elder financial abuse is the misuse, theft, or the exploitation of an elderly person's finances, their money. On June 15th, which is Elder Abuse Awareness Day, we're urging people to get to know the warning signs of elder financial abuse, which is the most common and the worst form of elder abuse.
Elder financial abuse involves coercing elderly people into making financial decisions that are not in their best interests. Some examples could be unauthorized withdrawals from a retirement account, or, for example, selling inappropriate financial products that don't fit with an elder's investment needs. Pam, what are some of the signs of elder financial abuse?
There are a few, so I'll highlight some of the most important signs. One would be large amounts of money being moved around. So if you see in an older person's online bank accounts or their investment accounts, large amounts of money moving around, that's a red flag. Another one is a senior mentioning that all of a sudden there's a new person in their life. And another one, a key one, is changes in an older person's behavior. They might become non-communicative. They might isolate themselves, or you might notice them becoming withdrawn or agitated, for example.
Fraudsters often target seniors for various reasons. For example, they can be perceived as having large nest eggs or savings accumulated for retirement. Secondly, it could be social isolation and be perceived as being more willing to trust others. And thirdly, though I know many of you are sitting with your iPad and watching this on YouTube, seniors can be perceived as less tech savvy and are vulnerable to online investment scams.
And so before we move on to talk about specific signs of investment fraud, I think it's important to note that how we talk about and to victims of elder financial abuse really matters. We know that many do not come forward and report what happened because of feelings like embarrassment or shame. And as a result, the majority of cases go unreported. Investment fraud is a crime of opportunity. It's much like a burglary. So if a senior has been defrauded, they are not to blame, and reporting the abuse is very important.
There's something I want to talk about. It's affinity fraud. It's another thing that is often cases of elder abuse are perpetuated by family members or those closest to the elderly person. Fraudsters take advantage of people's trust and emotions. As we know, people are more likely to get their guard down with someone they know. This is often called affinity fraud.
Yes, trust plays a huge role in multiple kinds of investment scams, and I'll highlight a couple of them. Pig butchering is one. It's a terrible name, but it's very apt. This is where people are lured into online relationships to build trust before convincing them to invest their money in what might seem like a legitimate venture. But once the victims are hooked and they've invested their money, the scammers then disappear, as does your money, because there's no way for the victims then to recover their funds. And the second one I want to point out is AI, artificial intelligence. It is being used more and more by fraudsters in investment scams. They clone voices, they produce deep fake audios or videos. We've all seen politicians or deep fake celebrities. And Dan, you talked about technology, and we often think of older people as not being savvy with technology, but they absolutely are. And they can be the victims of online investment fraud just as much as a younger person.
That's right. And there are tools for seniors and their loved ones. And it's not all doom and gloom. If you're a senior or have a senior in your life, there are steps you can take to prevent falling victim to financial abuse.
And one of those tools is something called a trusted contact person. This is something that allows investors to appoint or authorize a point of contact for their investment advisors. So TCPs, or trusted contact person, provide a safeguard in instances where your investment advisor might have concerns that somebody is financially exploiting you, or if you're showing signs of cognitive decline. This is a person that they can contact in instances like that.
And there's another layer of protection. It's education. Get to know and look for signs of investment fraud or elder financial abuse, such as the misuse of a power of attorney or pressuring a senior to lend or give money or even sell their home. Start a conversation with your family members and don't be afraid to talk about money or finances.
Absolutely right. We also know that much of elder financial abuse goes unreported. People may not know who to report it to, or they may be too embarrassed to report it. But if you suspect investment fraud, you can report it to the BC Securities Commission by calling us at 1-800-373-6393 or email us at inquiries@bcsc.bc.ca. The sooner you report, the sooner that we can take steps to help you. So Dan, how could folks contact your office?
So the Office of the Seniors Advocate, or OSA as we call it, can be reached by calling 1-877-952-3181. That's a toll-free number. I'll repeat it, 1-877-952-3181. Or email our office at info@seniors with an S, advocatebc.ca. That's info@seniors with an S, advocatebc.ca. And if there are any fraudsters watching this, seniors have earned their age. Don't mess with seniors.
What a great note to end this on, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.